Alright guys, so in this video, I'm going to look at something that bothered me a lot when I started my AppSheet journey. So one chart I like to use in my AppSheet applications is the calendar chart. But one problem I had was how to be able to determine what color each category would be. You see, when you create a chart like this, AppSheet by default will distinguish the various categories based on its default coloring code system. And you just need to provide a category and then it will determine what color it will be. In some cases, that's okay, but in some other instances, you probably want to determine what color will be what. So if you look at what I have for now, I have some categories over here. That's high, good, and low. Now, low is red, which is okay. Good is yellow, but then I wish high was green, right? These are sales that are being made by sales outlets, and then each day we are classifying the sales based on a certain threshold. So those that are above 50,000 are high, those that are above 25,000 but lower than 50,000 are good, and those that are lower than 25,000 are low. Right. So I want to be able to specify what each category's color will be. Okay. Now, for a long time, I wasn't able to determine this until later on I did. And then I feel like maybe someone out there, if just one person, might be curious how this can be done. So let me just demonstrate. I'm going to just change the color right away. And then you know that this is actually possible. So I'm just going to refresh this up over here. I've changed the color and you should see the new updates. Okay, good. So you see now, I've been able to change it so that high is green, low remains red, and good remains yellow. So we're just going to look at how this can be done in AppSheet. Let's go. Okay, so like we always do, we start off by creating our folder for our app. I'm just going to create a simple folder over here. It's a new folder. I'm going to call this Sales App Calendar View. Okay, I'm going to create a new document over here. All right, I'm going to call this Sales Data. And I'm just going to pre-populate this with some data I'm using for this purpose. Okay, so let me just paste this. Control V to paste the data. Good. So over here, I just have the dates and the sales that was made each day. I'm going to come here to create my app. Okay, this will just take a few seconds to do. And we have our app. Okay, so now we have our app over here. Let me just make this tablet view so I can have access to this. Good. We have statistics, sales data. I'll come here. All right. And then I'm going to change this view to calendar view. Good. So the calendar view works like this. You need to have a start date, end date, and sometimes time. Okay. The time will actually set the particular record within the time in the day. But for the month, for the day and the week, right, just the start date and end date is fine. Okay, so the state is going to be the start date at the same time the end date. For time, we don't have a time, so I'm just going to leave it as put none. End date. Now, in description, currently, we usually only have the date and then the amount. We don't have a description. So what we need to do is create a virtual column that will use to classify which one is high, which one is low, which one is good. Okay, which is basically medium. So I'll come here, click on this, and I'm going to create a virtual column. So add a virtual column for this category. Okay, I'm going to say if. Okay, sales is greater than or equal to 50,000. Okay, that's impressive. That's high. Okay, if sales happens to be greater than or equal to 25,000, that's good. Okay, more or less like medium. Otherwise, it's what is bad or it's low. So I'll just state low. Because I've stated for the first two possible outcomes, greater than 50,000, greater than 25,000, right? The last one, I can just provide the value if not as the last one. I'm going to click save, I'm going to click done. Click save over here. So if I come back to this view, right, I can make the description a category like this. So you see, you have high, low, good, high, low, but this cannot be deciphered between, right, because the same color. And that is why AppSheet has a category section. If you put a category over here, it will help you decipher, or it will set different colors for each category. So I'm going to click save. And then I'm going to bring this over here. Let me see. Auto assign. Okay. Ideally, you should have the option to put a category over there. I'm not quite sure what is preventing me from putting a category. If this is the reason why, I'm not too sure. But let's see. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to create a color field that determines what each field should represent in terms of color. Okay, so we'll come over here and then we'll create another virtual column. I'm going to call this color schema. Okay, basically saying that equal to if category is equal to high, I want you to give me green. If category is equal to good, which is also medium, I want you to give me yellow. Okay. Otherwise, I want you to give me what? Red. You can use this function, the if function, to do that. Another function, which is newer, is the switch function. So you could say switch, okay? And then you say category, which is your expression. So what you're saying is switch category, okay? If category happens to be high, give me what? Green. If it happens to be what? Good, give me yellow. Okay. And then we have the last one, which is low, which is red, right? But you see, the thing is that the switch function must have a default value, meaning if the components within the variable are not met, you should give me this value, right? Just like the if false value. So it's either you bring nothing like this, or you make your red your default value. So I can take this off, I can take the low off and make red my default value like this. Both works. I'm going to click save. Now, when I click done, okay, before I click done, I'm going to change this to color. And I want you to see what happens here. When I click done, click save, I'm going to get an error. And the reason why you're going to get an error is because even though you've provided what the various colors should be, you need to provide them as values in the color field. So I need to come here and say, okay, the values are red as colors, green, and yellow. I'm just going to click done and save this again, right? And then now this should work. Okay, so now if I come back to my function, okay, and I go to category, I should be able to select color. Good. And now when I select color, this works. Okay. Now you can use a lot of colors. Well, actually doesn't give you the chance to select so many different variant colors, but you can select colors like white, orange, black, purple. It's crazy. So when I come here, I can change this to, let's say, instead of red, let's say we can go with orange, purple, and black. Okay, then we need to change them over here as well. So let's say high is purple. Good is orange. And red is black now. I'm going to save this. Click done, and you have this issue. So you have orange, purple, black. In case you need these colors, you can use them. Maybe you want it to fit with your color schema or your theme for your app. So I hope you learned something. I know some of you might know this, but then there might be someone out there who might find this useful. So thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one.